Hey guys, Christian over at Fit Car Stereo. Today we're in a 2011 Mercedes CLS. We're here to swap out the customer's radio for an aftermarket one. But in this video, we're going to show you how to remove the radio. Alright guys, so first thing you're going to do to remove the radio, you have to remove here, 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 and then the radio. So in order to remove the surround over here, you have to remove this leather boot. This is an Untitled panel tool set. It's a PPT panel pry tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it comes with all 5 of them. You can buy them individually, but these are so real quick. This is a good set because see how it's got the reinforcement on the back, so they're made of a better plastic than most of the ones I've seen out there. So for this job, we're just going to use the 2 of them. We're going to do the PPT 1 and the PPT 2. All right. So just going to go into here, into the edge of the boot. Let me see if I can do this without. Yeah, let's do it on this side. I usually do it on that side, but go into here. Okay, now you're gonna open it up a little bit, and it's gonna pry out. All right. Now, once you got one side out, you just lift it and then pull the other way. All right. So I'll show you in 2 seconds. So what happens is that these little plastic things are in there, and what they do is they pop into the surround. So what happens is that when you do what I just did, you squeeze it away and it pops away. All right, so then you're going to go over here, pull this all the way up. All right, now this little knob, I'm not sure what is that over there, but this we're going to twist counterclockwise. So it goes with 2 fingers. Yep, just like that. And once you do that, you just give it a nice quick jerk. Usually I have this in neutral because of the video. It's in park and it just comes right out. All right, there's a couple things that are going on in here. So in your car, that might be a little bit harder to do, but that's all you got to do. You just sometimes use 2 hands, and I always pop it in neutral because if you're pulling real hard, you might come this way by mistake. So in neutral, it always pops up. All right. Now, next thing, open this door. All right. Now in here, I don't know if you can see him. Let me see if I can get a light. Let me get a light. Right back. All right, guys. So I've taken the car out of out of park. Just give you a better view. The emergency brake is down, but don't ever trust an emergency brake. I also have stoppers on the wheels so the car doesn't roll, even if the emergency brake fails. A lot of cars, you don't know the emergency brake isn't working until it's rolling down the street. Now, if you look over here, you have 1 and you have 2. Those are 2 little locking tabs. What they do is they're part of here. Be gentle with them because if you break them, they're part of the center console. You can't just replace them. All right. So what I do is I go in here with the PPT 4, just wedge it under here. All right. Now once you get it wedged, just push that in. All right, comes up. You do it without the PPT tool. It's just, for me, it's easier that way. That's what this tool is made for. Is to pull. All right, now that I got it out, I can actually pull it with my fingers. All right, see how that side came out? Now we're gonna push it in, and then that side came out. Okay, so now as you can see, it cleared. Be very careful when you go to push this back in. What I see a lot in cars is that people do this, and instead of it sliding into it, they hit the top of it, bang it in, and then you can't come back from that one if it breaks. I mean, you can, but you have to. I gotta double check, but I know on the E-Class I see that all the time where this is all broken. It's part of the center console. All right, so now once you do that, there's 2. Let me turn off this light. We don't need that anymore. Now there's 2 locking tabs in here. So once you get it clear past that, now you're gonna pull forward. Okay, and you see the 2 little metal lock tabs in there. Okay, and this also probably holds it down. Now you're going to turn this around. All right, now it's a good idea to turn off the car when you disconnect anything. Electronics, you'll probably be fine if you disconnect it with the car on, but it's always a better idea to disconnect electronics with everything off. But it's going to pull that off, never pull from the wire. All right, and then over here, so this had no locking tab. This just slid out, pressure fit. I mean, it has a locking tab, but nothing you have to press down. Okay, now on this one, you're going to push from the bottom and pull out. Okay, so there is a locking tab. You push down on that one. Okay, Now, this part you can't get out without putting the car. So you're going to turn the car on until all the dummy lights turn on. All right, now you're going to put the foot on the brake, obviously, and bring this down. Sometimes it takes a while for it to engage. All right, now, customer had a USB charger in here. I got in touch with him, see what he wants to do with that, because now we're doing aftermarket radio. It's going to be plugged into the phone, so he's not going to need this. But I don't know how that was run, so I got to see who did that. So now we're going to pull this up. Okay. Sometimes in some cars, it won't pull up as easy, and you may have to. Actually, I think I'm thinking about the E-Class. This one comes up fine. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, with this car, there are some aftermarket accessories that make it a little bit, the installation a little bit more difficult. Now over here, this is the main connector. Now this, if I remember correctly, is what your remote receives, but don't quote me on that. So your key transmitter, that's what it receives. I could easily test it right now, but it's 90 degrees, and it just, if you hear rain, I apologize. It's 90 degrees. I just opened the door because it's way too hot in this garage. All right, so this connector is funny. I'm just gonna use a panel tool. You don't have to use the one I'm using. I just used this one because it's the first one I saw. Actually, I lied. So we are going to, there you go. So you're gonna pull this towards you, okay? Now this, I believe, is part of a lighting system that the customer has a remote control for. So we're gonna put this off to the side, all right, and just try not to stress it. Now, in an E-Class that has a single CD in here, this is a CD changer or a pocket in the back. In this particular car, the problem with the E-Class and the CLS, they use very similar, they use the same shape radio. So in my head, I don't remember if this one ever came with a single CD with a changer down below. So what we're gonna do here is, down here, there are two T20 Torx. So this is a Torx, all right. Let me, what am I doing here? Put that light back up. Let me see if I can use my iPhone as B camera. It's funny, I spent all this money on a great camera to do B film, or whatever they call it, I don't know. But what happens is, it's so much easier just to reach for my iPhone. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. So you see that screw right there? There's one, and then on the other side there's another one. Those are the two screws we're looking to remove right now. Let me get this camera out of the way. I mean the light out of the way, because we don't need it. All right. Now, if you guys are really worried about damaging something, you can tape the edges. This is pretty. What's the word? It's pretty good leather. I wouldn't worry about it, unless you're a complete klutz, which I do have people who are like that. I mean, accidents happen to anybody, you know what I mean? But some people are just prone to them. Now, if anybody knows, if you guys seen it, if you can help me out. Like I said, in some of the cars I've seen, this actually is a CD changer, and then if it's not a changer, there's a pocket that opens and flips back down. Now, with this car, I'm not 100% sure, okay? Now, two things here. We have an airbag here. So whenever you have an airbag, you always want to be careful you don't start the car while this is disconnected, okay? Now, I'm not sure how to show this. Well, I guess we're gonna have to flip this way. Okay, you see this connector over here? All right, so we're gonna have to push that in and pull it out. Now, obviously I just said the airbag, so I'm going to turn this off. Now, if you guys double check the comments in the description, only because sometimes I do things like disconnect things that I shouldn't disconnect because I have the tools to reset an airbag. So later on in the install, you may see me disconnect it and not pay attention. And even though I told you not to. Now, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna get something to protect this, because this kind of has to stay right here for a minute. Alright, so what this is toolbox liner. You can use a towel. I'm gonna make a hole in it real quick. You could use a towel, an old hoodie, whatever you want. Just don't use your wife's good towels, because you know how that goes. Alright, so now this is connected to the back of the radio. I'm not 100% sure what this is. It's a yellow connector, which usually is Sirius XM, but does not look like a Sirius XM. So there's nothing on the bottom. Oh, it looks like there is something on the bottom. I don't know if that can't be a light. It's no clue what that is. Maybe a cabin sensor for the temperature. If someone knows what it is, please let me know in the comments. We appreciate it. Alright, so now here there's 2 screws. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the iPhone to give you a view. Alright, so we're gonna do selfie mode. You can see my ugly face. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so if you look right over here, ooh, too far. There it is. See that screw? So what that screw does is that there's a mechanism that goes up and down that locks it in place. There's one on each side. See it? There you go. Alright. Put that off to the side. It's no fun when you record a video that's 2 hours long trying to show something that takes 2 minutes to do. Now, that is also a T20. Now, I'm going to use a special tool here to start it off. Usually, when you first ooh, something's dying. Where's the battery? Oh, the screen is dying. Alright, give me 2 seconds. Let me change battery. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry for the interruption. We have a metal roof here, so when it rains heavy, I can't film because you hear the pitty patter on the roof. So I had this on for a while, so I didn't realize the battery was going to die. Anyway, so those 2 screws are T20. Now, I'm going to break them. Break them means loosen them up. You can, I don't recommend you take them out with a drill. I recommend you, so you don't need everything I'm doing here. Obviously, this is actually just in the way right now. Can I pull this back a little bit? Hey, girl. Back it up. Right, be gentle with that. I don't know how much that costs to replace. Alright, so over here, we have one. Actually, this is always a pain. It's a lot easier if you just put your head down there and look. There it goes. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to break it. So the first couple turns are going to be rough. Okay. And then after that, it gets really easy. Alright. So you just need the muscle for the first couple of turns. Then after that, just go in there by hand. The reason I tell you to do that is because if the screw comes all the way out, it's not hard to get it in, but it's not easy. Right, so we're gonna turn counterclockwise until it gets hard. Insert joke here. Alright, you see how it just got a little rough? I can't really turn it without pushing. That means we went all the way. And over here, we're going to do the same thing. Oh, while I'm turning these screws, check out our website. We have all the radio installation products for this car. Backup camera, custom microphone that goes in the factory location, radio installation dash kit, wiring harness, all that good stuff. What we do here is that we film videos and we figure out the best way and what works with the car. And until we do that, we don't sell something. A lot of other companies, they put stuff out like, yeah, this should work. Not us. All right, so now that those 2 screws are out, I'm gonna put this here so I can get to it. Now I'm gonna put this kind of back inside, because what's gonna happen now is when I pull out the, well, I am going to put it back because that's exactly where it belongs. When I pull out the radio now, it's actually going to pull on the wire. So you don't want the wire to break. So this is what you do. You push that in. Okay. Now you pull out the radio. Be careful not to drag it on this surface down here, because if you drag it, you're going to scratch the top of it. And also the top too. I'm sure that top part. Alright, so now what you're going to do, you're going to actually probably have another one ready. Put that on top like I just did, flip it over. Now over here, I'm going to use the camera if I can. Make sure I'm not hitting anything. Make sure you take out all your CDs first. Alright, you see this cable right here? Take that out. This yellow one, there's a locking tab over here. Okay. Now what we're going to do, once you take that out, put this back in here for 2 seconds. Alright, and now, for you guys that don't know, which I always find this funny that people find this out as they're taking out their old radio. Mercedes radios come on with the key out, and they shut themselves off after a limited time to protect the battery. Alright, so we're going to come out here. Okay, let's make sure we got protection on the side. Alright, now over here we have a GPS antenna. So if you were installing a radio with a GPS antenna, we have an adapter that allows you to use this antenna with an aftermarket radio. Now over here is a slide connector. Alright, so what this does, you push this in, and then you see how this little lever slides over it. Boom, and it comes right out. Now, this I have a feeling has something to do with your, well, I know it has something to do with your iPod and whatever adapter in your glove box, and if this car has an aux somewhere, that as well. Alright, so now over here, I'm trying to figure out the best way to show you this. Alright, now I've taken out the radio, the CDs out of this radio, alright? I've said this 3 times already, so make sure you don't do this without taking out the CDs. I'm about to flip this radio around. Don't do this unless you've taken out the CDs, you're going to get in trouble. Alright, so now we're going to make sure that's all put up. Alright, so what I just did was I made sure this is between the radio and the leather so we don't scratch anything up. This is what's called a quad lock connector. You can Google it, it's a very common connector. Squeeze here. Alright, so you basically squeeze, pulling outward, and then slides out. Alright, once it slides out, they call it a quad lock because there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 connectors in one, and then this also carries the fiber optics. Alright, let me make sure there's no wires. Alright, so this is, I think this is a multi-use radio because you have the standard quad lock connector back here. Now we also have the connector we took out. This is, I don't know what this is. It's driving me crazy. This is usually AM FM, but in this car the radio is actually in the trunk. So AM FM reception comes from the trunk somehow. There's no AM FM antenna here. This is usually Sirius XM, I believe. Well, Sirius XM is either green or mustard usually, but the GPS antenna adapter was covering that up, so I believe Sirius XM antenna will probably be in the trunk as well. Alright, so that's the back of your radio. For you guys that are geeks, not geeks, but if you guys want to make sure that we're working with the same stuff, I'm going to show you the radio part number. Let me zoom in. That looks clear. Let me make sure it is. Hey, that's not what I wanted. There you go. Super clear. Alright guys, so this video is brought to you by enfitcarstereo.com. We sell, we install, we ship worldwide. If you're a shop, we have wholesale accounts. Guys, I know this car is a pain. The guy who, funny enough, the guy whose car this is actually the same guy who I did his E55. It's his friend's car. And he took it like 5 shops. Everyone's like, nah, we can't do it. That car's a pain. And I'm like, why is it a pain? I don't get it. So here we are, and I've tested all the parts to make sure everything works, and we're good. As I like to say, we're gravy. Now, sell, install, ship worldwide. Yeah, so guys, what I'm trying to say is that anything we sell, anything on the website works. As a shop, if you call us, we'll tell you, hey, I got this part, I know it works, I haven't tested it though. Or I'll tell you, I got no clue. Or I tell you, it's probably not going to work. And so if I say it's probably not going to work, I'm probably not going to sell it to you unless I have a really, really close relationship with you. But yeah, so with that said, if you use this video, do me a favor, give it a like. If you like this kind of stuff, you can subscribe to our channel. If you really like this kind of stuff, you can sign up for notifications, so every single time we put up a video, you can see it. Look out for the radio installation video that we're doing. That's it. My name is Christian, nfitcarstereo.com. Thank you so much for watching.